All right, good morning, everybody. This is going to be a pretty good stream. Hoping. Hope you're all having a good Friday. Letting some people come and trickle on in. Derek, morning. Good day to you. So hello. All right, I think we're about to get started here. Johnny. How you doing? Always. There. All right, let's get going. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're doing well. If all of you could just do me a huge favor, if you can hear me, and if you can, well, can't see me just yet, type 1 in the chat real quick. That way I know everyone here can hear me. I want to make sure everything's working well. All right. Can everybody hear me okay? Type 1 in the chat if you can. All good? All right. This is not financial advice. Just a reminder, the information on this channel is provided for education, informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. Feel free to stop, read this. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not advice. All for educational purposes only. Fantastic. Good stuff. All right. Every single one of these streams, I try and start out with some kind of value added. You know, throughout the stream, we're going to be going over and looking at kind of the things that maybe we have signals for today or that could be setting up going into the session. But I like to kind of start off in the beginning just taking a look. And this time I've kind of chose to, let's do a little bit of a review. You know, I usually review the different types of templates. We're going to do that here in a second. But for maybe some people that are clicking on this stream and they've never seen this style of trading before, it's good to just have this information out there multiple times over and over again so those people can see it. And it's always just a good review for everyone. So just a reminder that I'm only looking to trade one session per day. I trade New York, and those times are up here on the screen. Asia, 8 to 11 p.m., London, 2 to 5 a.m., New York, 8 to 11. There's a whole bunch of systems out there, right? Tons of systems. Of course, I learned from Stacey Burke, but you know, pretty much every system out there tells you that you should be focusing on, you know, certain timing windows. BTMM, I think even ICT and things like that. There's certain times of day that are optimal for trading because that's when volume in the market actually tends to move. Looking at different types of reversals and trend trades and things like that, that's usually when the market is actually going to explode, which means we can be in and be out of the market within an hour and, you know, have highly profitable opportunities. Going down, taking a look, and just reviewing and thinking about mentality-wise, I only want to take playbook opportunities because those are going to be the reoccurring setups, the things that show up the most, the things that I have listed out as, hey, that's my setup, that's what it's supposed to look like, I'm going to enter in because that was a high probability opportunity and it's set up to explode and do its thing. We're looking at signal days, outside days, inside days, 3 days of breakouts in one direction. First red, first green days, weekly templates, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The 3-day cycle. 3-day cycle is going to be the same as the weekly templates, except it could be, you know, as I got up here, you know, Friday to Tuesday, Monday to Wednesday, Thursday or Tuesday to Thursday, Wednesday to Friday. Still 3-day opportunities. It just could start on any day of the week. And then using those signal days as an additive to the weekly templates and those 3-day cycles will help you find the best opportunities possible. Okay. Well, I'm using the previous days, previous weeks, highs and lows as an opportunity to look for things because the market only does three things. Again, there's plenty of information out there. Al Brooks talks about trending markets, trading ranges, and reversals. He's got 3 books on those topics, a book for each topic alone. Stacey uses that phrase, the market only does 3 things, over and over again. We're either breaking out and trending, we're breaking out and reversing, or we're inside of a trading range. So when we use previous days highs and lows, previous weeks and months highs and lows, and a market closes outside of that range, we could be looking for trend opportunities. But of course, understanding that when we're in breakout, we don't have to stay in breakout, and maybe we can even start to break down or break out in the opposite direction when those opportunities prevent and we can get, or when they show up, right? And then you can get those reversal opportunities as well. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here. I've kind of displayed those things. You know, we've got failed breakouts here. We've got failed breakouts here. Monday, Tuesday, peak formation high, peak formation low. And then the parabolic move on that third day over here on Wednesday. I've shown this exact example plenty of times, but kind of a display of the different market conditions. And we're using structure. I use structure to get into the market. I use structure to find opportunities. I actually have not found anybody else out there at all that talks about using previous days highs and lows as structural breaks. I could be wrong, and if I am, please tell me in the comments below, or maybe here in the chat, if you have seen other people out there that don't trade Stacey Burke's system or style of trading that use previous days highs and lows as structural breaks, because I'd be highly interested. But you can use previous days highs and lows as structural breaks. You can use the high and the low of the day as structural breaks. And then I also like to use internal structure as well to help me identify squeezes. So what I'm talking about is, for example, if a market is going down and then we break the high, maybe we're looking for a dump and a pump. If we're going up and we break the low, we might be looking for a pump and a dump. Basically, that lower low could be a structural break. This is a very recent example on gold, where they were going up, 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 and then we triggered the low, which could signal a 3-day setup. And then we triggered the low over here, and then you pump it up 3 days or for the 3 sessions or whatever, and then it dumps back down. On the day, inside structure, this is what I'm talking about, using structure on the day to help me identify certain things. We got the low of the day, which was also just a structural low in general. They broke the low. That's the lower low. And then it pumps back up and you get trend continuations. All right. So just a little bit of a review on kind of what I'm trying to do. And then, the different types of templates. We can take a look at those real quick as well, since I've only burned 8 minutes. These are going to be the templates that I'm going to be searching for now coming into Friday. Oh, no. Coming into Friday session, all right, which kind of goes along with what we were just looking at. Breakout pullback templates for trend trades, breakout reversal opportunities for reversal trades. That's like breakout trend trades, breakout reversal trades. I've got it listed up here. The peak formation high, peak formation low. This is going to be those 3-day rectangles. Sometimes it'll be like a 4-day rectangle over the course of multiple days. First red and first green days. All right, we got a large pumping day, a day that attempts to go higher and then fails to go higher, and then you get the reversal. A day that large dumping day, a day that attempts to go lower and then closes above the open, looking for that reversal the following day, or maybe even on the 4th day, depending on the context of the market. 3 days of breakouts, breakout day 1, 2, and 3, either on day 3 or 4, looking for that reversal. Remember, I like to see the front side of the move broken. At the very least, I like to see that break in structure. We're making higher highs and higher lows on the day. I'm looking for a lower low to be put in place and waiting for that pump up to get that reversal. Maybe it's not going to be an all hands sort of reversal or a massive full-blown reversal, but I can at least get a smaller pump and a dump on the day. Love to see it. Inside bars, inside days, reversals, range expansions. I look for certain signatures. I look for, if it's an inside bar, 3 pumps to the high or 3 pumps to the low. Really good signature for reversals, depending on the time of day and things like that. Or a market maybe that's in breakout and then you get an inside day, and then you get a breakout pullback sort of scenario, or a higher high pullback trend trade scenario, or maybe a lower low pullback trend sort of scenario. And then, of course, the trap trades, these are all just playbook things. You know, maybe we're in a market that's in breakout in a direction. You get a first red day, but it's actually a strong move. You think it's a first red, but then you've got the closing price from either the previous day or maybe from 2 days ago acting as trap volume. And then you can get in on really good squeezes from those levels. I only take these trades from those levels. There are no exceptions for me when I take those trap trades. Good. So we've done a little bit of a review. I know it was very quick, very fast. If you're interested in these, please go check out. I've got videos for all of these on my channel, so you can go and look at those. That's my entry criteria over here on the right. I'm going to find one of these templates. Then on the day itself, I'm going to use structure to identify whether or not it's actually setting up in the time of day, looking at time rotations of 15-minute and 1-hour bars. Once I have a structural break, I look for 3 pushes, basically going back in the other direction. That could be 3 bars. It could be a stair-stepping pattern. It could be any one of those 3 pushes patterns that I have listed. I look for traps, some sort of pattern, and as it breaks down, we engulf the pattern. That's where I look to take my entry. I've got even my stops and targets that I always use. All right, I use the consolidation as I'm going to show you all here in a second on US 30. This is exactly what I took yesterday on US 30. And then I was a silly goose. And if you saw it on Discord, I tightened up my stops a little too quickly, and I got wicked out of a winning trade, which kind of stunk, but I still took over 50 points on YM. So not too bad. But still, I gave up a lot because it did expand the range as expected. And I was trading with the webinar group and told them about it, and then they watched me get wicked out. So, tis what it is. It happens. I should have waited for the drop before going to break even. That's what it is. Okay, let's take a look. All right, first off, I'll start with that YM trade that I took yesterday. Again, we had a market that closed in breakout. They closed outside of the breakout pretty far. We triggered previous day's high, 1, 2, 3 to the high. Peak formation high. So this is where the trade started for me. Okay, this is where it started because we had a high in place. And again, this is me using internal structure on the day just to identify smaller setups, right? This wasn't a 3-day setup necessarily. It was just a session trade on the day. But it was set up really well, so I took it. We got 3 peaks to the high, 1, 2, and 3. This is where the trade starts. Number 1, price action looks good. We got that nice stair-stepping pattern. Number 2, this is where it starts. We were making higher highs and higher lows. We get the break-in structure back down on the inside of the previous day's range. That's an indication to me to draw this little pen across as my anchor and look for the pump so that we can dump it back down. Essentially, all that is going to be a pullback. I'm just looking for a pullback, all right? The way that it's consolidated here, we get kind of a push 1 and then a break and a 2. Over here is 2, and then we get the 3, and then peak formation high. One of the patterns that I look for is that double top high. Peak 1, peak 2. This is an extended M, and it breaks down and engulfs. Okay, so now I am green light at this point to get in. Now, I didn't get in here. I got in over here on the continuation down, and I'll show you why. I had an EMA up on the screen. And frankly, I wasn't too sure about my entry at this point. So I waited a little bit longer, and I got in over here. I got in at 9:46 on a 1-minute chart. Oh, come on. Go back. There we go. 9:46 on a 1-minute chart. You can see how we're kind of coiling underneath the EMA here. That should be that bar right there. Yep. So this bar here, we got the little 1, 2, 3 back up. We got the bar coming back down. That's where I got in. And then I actually added in on a 5-minute chart before we got back down to the low because this is going to be my first take profit right here. Where that pump began, that's always going to be my first take profit. So I got in at 9:46. I added in as it was going in my favor. And then we hit the first take profit, which means my average price was a little tight, unfortunately. And then I went to break even and I got wicked out, which is really ridiculous because I was even watching it in live time and I knew that these bars here were on the inside of this previous bar's high and low. So I really had no reason to be, worried or anything like that. It was just a mistake on my part. No big deal. And my first target was going to be well, this was my first target, but my overall target, excuse me, was going to be an expansion of the consolidation range, which was right here. And they ended up getting there pretty quickly, which was nice. Let's go and move on. We're going to take a look at the actual templates now. Let's get it out of here, and we'll go over here. Okay, so based off those drawings that I showed you all, we're looking for certain things, and now I can start to look for those things. Opening range for the week, Monday, Tuesday, we got a breakout day. Wednesday, we got a breakout day. Thursday, we get a breakout day. So now we have 3 pushes outside of an opening range. We also have 3 days of breakouts. Admittedly, 3 days of breakouts means absolutely nothing. It means that the market could possibly be overextended, but I need to see more facts. I need to see more information in order for me to dictate that this is actually going to be good. And that's where structure in the front side of a move comes in. So we're still on the front side of a move. We've got the 3 days of breakouts. Let's put that up there. And this is what I'm referring to when I say, number one, we got a day in breakouts, so that means I need to project this level across, as always. And then the very next thing that I should be looking for, based off of this signal day right here and being at the high of the week, is structure. All right, I'm going to look for that internal structure to see, maybe if we get a lower low on the day, maybe I can get something based off of that. So looking at this, we kind of had a high in place over here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yep. We had a high in place over here. They pulled back in 2 bars. These 2 bars were outside of this 1 bar's range. So that means I can confirm that as a valid swing high. It's more relevant. And then they break that high with a solid candle closing above. And then we get, when that happens, it confirms that this is a swing low. So I would connect the lowest place that they pulled back to. And then same thing happens over here. We get the 2 bar pullback and a high. So right now, we're on the front side of a move. We are a market that is breaking out to the upside. And we have no lower lows back down. The low of the day has not been broken as a lower low. The structural internal levels have not been broken down. We have a higher high in a market that's been moving higher. So I'm not too frantic to try and get into this trade. Something to watch. Now, if we break this high, and then we spike down through the low of the day, maybe, between now and 9:30. That's a lot of things to happen before now and 9:30. But, with the news event, 8:30, that could be what we're looking at, right? And don't worry, if you haven't seen me talk about non-farm payrolls, that's supposed to be the whole point of this video. That's why I did that whole review at the beginning of this. So, that review at the beginning, I'm only looking to take playbook opportunities. I'm only looking to trade these templates. I'm only looking to do certain things, and that's why I've got this poll up here. A lot of people start chasing bars or start chasing candles, and they think it's momentum, and it might be, but I want it to be momentum based off of one of these templates. So, for example, if we had our first green day yesterday, and then the market has pulled back and gone into consolidation, and then at 8:30, we get the large explosive candle to the upside, I would say, hey, that 8:30 bar just confirmed the thesis of first green day. The market's made the higher high, and now we're exploding off the low of the day. I can try and trade the momentum for that. Now, I don't just get in on the news candle. I'll wait for a pullback of some kinds, where Stacey Burke calls it the first pullback or the first bounce or whatever you want to call it. And that's where I look to get in. Breakout, pullback, and then the trade will occur. Ride the momentum. If it goes against me at all, I get out, because it's supposed to be a momentum opportunity. And if it immediately loses momentum after that explosion, there's a problem. Okay. So that's how I trade any news event. I'm not trading before the news. I'm not even necessarily trading immediately after the news. I might need to wait until 9:30 altogether, because the candle didn't do anything that was in particularly, confirming a thesis of any kind. So if you need to go back and look at that review to understand what I'm talking about, please feel free. Okay, NASDAQ. I saw some people... Oh, we got some... Are we arguing over here? Very well. Let's see. Was there anything... think I saw someone talking about gold, or I want to buy Euro. Okay, I'll look at Euro USD in a bit. First red day, YM, gold, silver, and RTY. Okay. 3 days out. Okay. Fauci, I already caught that NQ, but it looks like you may have already talked about it. Hopefully my looking at structure and things kind of helps clear up what I'm looking for. 81 people in the stream right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you do me a huge favor, hit the like button on the stream. It helps more than you realize. Maybe throw up a comment in the little chat box and say hi. Let's YouTube know, hey, this stream, this guy doesn't completely stink. Maybe we should send more people his way, which would be nice. If not, that's fine too. Let's get it on over to US 30. Yep, Fauci, before you go, oh, that's Invisible Post. See you later in the webinar. Good stuff, Invisible. Fauci, YM, absolutely. First red day, 100%. Love to see it. All right, now let's talk about this. Number one, it's a first red day. We had the opening range for the week over here on Monday. Wednesday was a breakout day. So the very next thing that I need to do is project this level across. Let's take a look. We've been in an opening range breakout. Now I'm projecting this level across, not necessarily because it's Wednesday's high, but because it's the opening range high, okay? So the opening range for the week being Monday, we're in an opening range breakout scenario or breakout template right now. We have not triggered the previous day's low. We have not spiked the low of the day or anything like that. But on the day, we might be making a lower low. So let's actually go back and take a look at some other things. Good. Okay, so last week, low of week. We triggered the low of this week. Does anybody know possibly a possibility of when we've been going up, we trigger previous week's low, what that could possibly be a signal for? It's the same as that review that we just did. If we've been going up and we trigger the previous day's low, there's a possibility for something. I'm just trying to hopefully inspire some thought process as we're going through this. So if we've got a previous week's low, we trigger the previous week's low like this, what could it possibly be doing? Pump and a dump, possibly. Squeeze, okay. Yeah, so I'm thinking pump and dump was the right answer. Okay, so maybe this, on a weekly scale, we've triggered the low. Maybe we're looking for a 3-day template for a pump and a dump, right? So we get the trigger, first red, or first green, excuse me, then we get an inside day, then we get an expansion of that bar. Now, we're in an opening range breakout scenario. We get a day that opens. They attempt to make highs in the morning, and then they close below that opening price on the day. All right, so this is a first red day. All right, important or just as important, we also have a very large range pumping day. And I like to call this A, B, and C. All right, we got day A. The characteristics of day A are and always will be a pumping day or a large range day. If it's a first green day, obviously it's going to be a dumping day or a large range down close day. Then you have day B, which is going to be your first red day or first green day behavior. I just described first red, and first green would be the opposite. And then on day C, I would just use my entry criteria and look at a 5-minute chart and look at the time of day in order to determine whether or not I might actually have a setup. Oh no. Okay, so we've gone back to the high in sort of this nice little 3 peaks pattern. I use my rules for structure. We made a higher high. And then we've came down and we've made a lower low. We're underneath the EMA now and coiling possibly. It's a little early in the morning. Okay, does this mean that it's going to go down today? Absolutely not. It's 8:25. We've got news in 5 minutes. That's non-farm payrolls. It's a very large news announcement. However, as of right now, it's looking nice. a lot can change between now, the news event, and 9:30. So we'll have to see. If it sets up, great. If it not, whatever. I'm looking at and hoping for an expansion of the range to the downside, maybe going back towards the low of the current week. That would be ideal, but we'll see. Okay. Before the news is crazy, yeah. Certainly not getting in before then, that's for sure. Unfortunately, this is set up so perfect that it kind of hurts to see right before the news. And also before 9:30. We got the peak formation high. It breaks down and makes a lower low, pumps it back up into the EMA. We get a 1-bar breakout, fake out, and a run of that low to go lower. It hurts. It hurts a little, but we'll see. Everybody good with this? Everyone kosher? Everyone feel pretty good about this explanation and why this is what I would be looking for? In fact, let's talk about the trade or the trap a little bit. So we've got a close that's way up here. So this is the close from 2 days ago. So I'd say this is probably not relevant. It is the highest close within the week, but I would say as of right now, not relevant for a trap opportunity. If this was a trap opportunity and I was looking to execute this, which I don't know, maybe that's what I should be looking for. And around 9:30, that's what needs to be looked at. This is the close from yesterday, so this is the level that I would be looking at. You know, they work it back down into this. 9:30 opens up, and there's a squeeze to go vertical. You know, am I going to look at that for this? Or, you know, in this particular situation, probably not. I'm probably only going to be watching for the first red, but we'll see. Looks trappy. Yeah, it's kind of how I feel, too, with the timing, Shaky. A lot of things happening in the first 30 minutes of a session that really should be happening towards the back end of a session. Anyways, let's go to oil. Let me zoom out here. 15. 3 minutes was fun. 3 minutes until fun. Probably should open my eyes and learn to read, right? Good stuff. All right, Monday. Opening range for the week. We've been going down on oil for quite some time. Yeah. Market go down. Market trigger high of previous day. I'm thinking possibly 3-day pump and dump or dump and pump. Came back down, triggered previous day's low. We got a first green day. So this is kind of, hey, you know, they triggered the high, then we get the first green. So I was looking for first green over here. Didn't take it. It continued to fall through to the downside. We got an inside day. Now, they've came down and retested the low of the buy day or the first green. And they've even broken out to the downside and closed. So, breakout day. What's the first thing that I need to do? We've done the review. And also just understanding what the 3 things that markets do. What should I be doing the moment I see a breakout close to the downside? A 3-day template. Wednesday, Thursday, we got an inside day, then a breakout day, and then now leading us into today. The very first thing that I should be doing is projecting this level across, all right? Because that's going to be a very relevant level in most cases. So, now I've got that. I'm going to skip these ads so you all can stay in here with me. Breakout day 1, you know, to the downside. We had a reset over here, and then they kind of broke out sort of over here. Inside day, they triggered the low of the inside bar. This looks healthy. The way that it's moving and then consolidating just looks very healthy and clean. 1 minute to the news, yeah. So basically the idea of this would be looking for a higher high for the reversal. If it breaks down and makes lower lows, then I'm going to take the trend trade back down to the low. We've got 1 minute until the news. Let's go to gold. And quickly look. All right, we triggered the previous day's low. Could be maybe an indication for pump and dump. Project the levels across invisible. Good stuff. All right, we're going to wait for this news. All right, there it is. Non-farm, 8:30. Yep. Okay, 3 days breakouts. We're breaking out to the upside. We went back to retest the high. Maybe going vertical outside of the previous day's high. Who knows? US 30 seemed trappy. It is trappy. Good. Waiting for 9:30 now. 100%. This is going to be a... well, I guess, maybe. A little too early to say, I think. We'd have to wait and see what that bar does in the next 5 minutes. Oil, no reaction. All right, gold. Okay, opening range breakout on gold. They've gone outside of a previous day's range 3 days in a row. 1, 2, 3. Opening range breakout on Tuesday. Wednesday continued to go higher. Came back down, triggered previous day's low. Either this is a reset or this is the beginning of a pump for a dump. A reset being they reset the low and then they continue up for another 3 days or they'll continue to break out to the upside. Gold has been going up for 3 or 4 weeks now. Okay, we have not triggered previous week's low on gold in quite some time. Not to say that anything's going to change. But we'll see. Do I consider this a first red day on gold? I wouldn't focus on the terminology for this one, Fauci. I would just say more of, hey, they triggered previous day's low in an up-moving market. Maybe I'm looking for a pump for a dump. That's the easiest way to go about it. Could it maybe be a first red? Sure. Regardless, I'm still going to look for the same things. Which right now, this doesn't look too bad. Okay, first red day. Maybe. 3 days of breakouts? Absolutely. So let's take a look at that. Breakout, breakout, breakout. Front side of a move has been broken, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to take this. We're going to do one of these. Don't really put a lot of weight behind that. We trigger previous day's low, which could be the lower low back down on the inside of the previous or the week's range, signaling for the pump and a dump. So we do have a lower low. Good stuff. Definitely going to be watching this. And hopefully it doesn't play out and go vertical to the downside without me. There's a lot of ramping volume back up towards the high. I have a feeling that, again, this is just a feeling with a lot of time in between now and I actually taking trades. This little ramp here could be order flow for the move back down here. We got a little bit here. You know, they could be about to just fall through this back down to where the pump began from yesterday. We'll see. Holy cow. Okay. Yep, first red day on this pair as well. Yeah, they just absolutely smoked everybody. Smoked the breakout traders at the high of the day. Looking mighty fine. I should be on the charts trading right now. And it's, we'll see. 1, 2, 3 days of breakouts on this pair as well, and a first red day with the front side of the move being broken and a lower low structurally, but not on the previous day's low. This looks pretty good. Okay, we've got the stream to about 30 minutes right now. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? This is a first red day. I'm looking for a sell high opportunity, but I'm trying to, honestly, I'm trying to get to the charts so I can start watching things. I think I saw somebody say Euro USD. I'll go take a look at that real quick. Okay, Euro USD trigger previous day's low in an up-moving market, possibly looking for a pump and a dump. Hive day started to reverse. They came down, made a lower low at the low of the day, pumped back up. Then the news. Now we've gone back to where the pump began. And they've put this absolutely massive wicking high, wicking low candle. If this stays like this, I would never trade anywhere on the inside of that. That's my own personal opinion, of course. Oh, yeah, this is looking good. I'm going to have to go and get to the charts. I appreciate that, Fauci, and everybody else that's been here. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been fantastic. On your way out, if you could hit the little silly like button and trigger YouTube's algorithm, I greatly appreciate you. I do these streams every Wednesday and Friday at 8 a.m. and the video every Saturday this week. And from now on, every single video will give you an opportunity to potentially win a little giveaway. I mean, nothing crazy, but still cool nonetheless. So make sure you're liking and commenting on those videos because that's all you need to enter in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.